Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Miriam Dow, wife, mama for real estate investor and entrepreneur. I do not think investing in condos is a good investment for real estate investors. And these are my reasons why. I just never understand how I could buy something, you tell me that I own it, and you give me a deed for this property. And then you go ahead and turn around and say, well, you can't paint your house this color. You can't do your lawn this way. You can't do this, you can't do that. So like when I started looking into investing into properties, looked into condos because they are less expensive. And that was the only reason why I even entertained the idea, because they are less expensive, that's it. But once I started to get more and more into it and I started to see all the cons, the realtor I had at the time was like pushing it on me like, oh, you want to make this a rental? Yeah, you could do it, you could do it. But then I'm just like, absolutely not. So if you're looking to invest in your first rental property and you're thinking about a condo because it's probably less expensive, I know the interest rates are high right now. I know single families are hella expensive right now. I know inflation is crazy right now. I still recommend that you don't do it. I'd rather you wait a few more months, half a year, 6 months, a year, buy you a multi-family unit, even buy a single family unit. Try to, convert that into a multi-family unit by converting the basement or converting the garage, rather than buying a condo because it's less expensive and you can afford that now. So the pros for a condo, okay, you have amenities. You have a ton of amenities depending on where you are. You have a gym, you have a swimming pool, might have a game room, you might have a laundry room. So those are some amenities that you have, but then again, they are shared amenities. Low maintenance, things like snow removal, landscaping, garbage removal. The HOA board takes care of all of that. The management board takes care of all of that. So you don't have to really worry about that. When it snows, my husband's breaking his back. So not having to deal with that is definitely a plus. We have a landscaper. I pay him about 140, it's $35 a week, but then when he does fertilizer, that's an additional 40 bucks. Then he does all this other stuff, that's an additional something out to sometimes about $200 a month, but it's supposed to be like around the 160. He increased his cost last year, so I'm pretty sure come landscaping season in 2024 he's going to increase his cost again. But we really do have a huge front yard and a huge backyard, so I feel like the $35 is still a deal. It's lower cost to buy condominium. It's cheaper. You could probably get it for under 300,000, maybe under 200,000 depending on the unit size. So that's definitely low. Then again, I bought my very first investment property for under $100,000. I was able to do the renovations and everything for $130,000. Now, a pro for investing in a condo is that it's usually centrally located. So it's usually closer to transportation, probably a close vicinity to malls and stuff like that. There's some really nice condos in Hackensack that I drive by all the time, and the mall is literally right downstairs. So I would love that if I was probably single and, living in a condo where the mall is right downstairs. I would recommend condos for elderly people where maintaining the home has become too much. Widows where it's just them and they don't have a lot of help around the house. Other than that, I feel like the cons is outweighing the pros here. Let's get right into the cons. I'm not going to buy a house and you're going to tell me that I can't paint it this color, that I can't do this to the house, that I can't put my island on the other side because I feel like it'll look better there. So there's a HOA board and you need to get approval for certain things that you want to do to your house, even down to the color that you want to paint your house. I ain't paying these taxes and you telling me that I can't do this because something, no. That when I heard that, I was just like, absolutely not. Like, I need to be in charge. I need to be fully in control. So it was a no for me. HOA fees is hella high. Now the HOA fees covers, the maintenance that they're doing and then the amenities, but that has nothing to do with the mortgage you're paying to the lender. So you got your HOA fees, then you got the lender. Now with my home, my single family home, my investment properties, I have one mortgage payment. And that's it. Depending on where you are, the HOA fees is probably hella expensive. So definitely look into that. That's a hard no for me. We already discussed the HOA regulations. We see all the crazy memes where the president of the HOA is going around basically harassing people, telling them, oh, you can't have this flag here, where you're going to get fined if you put the flag up. Like, I feel like that's crazy. Of course, you got limited storage. So with my single family home, I got my garage. So we utilize all the space in the garage. Sometimes like when I remodel my house and I get rid of a sofa before we have our big bulk garbage pickup base, I'll just store it in the garage. And then I have like my bike in my garage, and then we also have our shed in our backyard. I have unlimited amount of storage with my single family, and that's probably very limited when you live in a condo. You probably have to then go and pay for storage to store your stuff, and I'm like, what is the point at this point? You got the HOA fees, you got the mortgage, you got all these people up in your business, you're sharing walls. I don't like that. you're sharing walls. And then especially if you have family with small kids. Sometimes when I go visit my mom in New York City and the kids are jumping, my kids are used to making hella noise and I let them be free. So when they're jumping up and down, we're not sharing any walls. They can make as much noise as they want. But when we go to my mom's house, they are not mindful of that. So I'm like, hey, you can't make too much noise here. There's neighbors downstairs. All this noise, you guys got to stop. And the same thing goes for when you live in a condo. If you have small kids, they probably, it depends on the kid. I come from a loud family. My kids are loud too. So it's like, you're going to have neighbors always making complaints or bothering you, looking at you funny because your kids is making all this noise. I remember when we lived in an apartment and at the time I only had my son, we would see the neighbor that lived downstairs in the elevator in the mornings, and she would make little jokes. She's like, oh, I think you went to bed early yesterday. I didn't hear too much yesterday. Or she'd be like, oh, so what was you doing yesterday? You were doing a lot. She was making funny jokes. Behind every joke, there's a little bit of truth in it. So I remember that. And we moved here when he was 3. So he was still like young, had a lot of energy. And she would make just these snide remarks. Now imagine living in a condo where you paying all these damn fees and then you got your neighbor looking at you funny because your son is making a little bit too much noise for them. Honestly, I feel like when you're ready to sell, you're probably going to have difficulty selling it because this realtor that I had before I had my current realtor was trying to push this condo down my throat. Man was calling me every day. Like, okay, are you ready? You want to come take a look? And I'm just like, I'm not even, no. Because your seller is having a hard time trying to sell this house. It's been on the market for 6 months. I'm not interested. As an investment property, it's a no-go. As a family with young kids, it's a no-go. As a young couple just starting, just got married, not really having kids yet, probably yes, probably get you into the feel of ownership. As an elderly person where, maintenance is becoming a little bit too much, it's a good idea. Some of them don't even actually let you rent. So Airbnb is definitely a hard no for all the ones that I was looking at. Like, they really don't like that. Then also some of them have like rental regulations if you're looking to rent it out. So that itself might be a problem. I remember when I was looking to do rental arbitrage, one of the gentleman's houses that I was looking to do rental arbitrage, and he was kind of entertaining the idea. He actually went to the board and they said, no, you can't, because he wanted to sublease it to me. But they were like, no, they don't allow Airbnb. This property was in Trenton, y'all. That was just another reminder when I was still a beginner investor. I was like, absolutely not. So if any of you actually invested in a condo and it's profitable, put it down in the comment section down below. I feel like sometimes when you have like beachfront properties, like in Miami and stuff like that, if they allow Airbnb and stuff, maybe I would consider it. But still, the situation with sharing walls, unable to sell it and all that stuff, I feel like the cons definitely outweigh the pros for me. That's it for today's video, and please guys, subscribe to my channel, share the video, show me some love. I got hundreds of videos giving you guys value. Please reciprocate and just like the video, put a nice little comment. It doesn't even have to be words. Put an emoji. That's gonna help me with my algorithm. Share the video. But that's it for today's video, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye.